Jungle.
New tension. UK and France prepare to fight on Beijing in disputed waters clash in South China Sea. Britain, France and possibly Germany are preparing strategies to keep an eye on China in the disputed South China Sea. The European powers are considering how to increase their presence in the contested South China Sea as tensions over the waters has continued to remain high. Britain and France are permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and have nuclear powers with blue water naval capabilities. Last year, France released a regional strategy paper which stated that it would cement its posture as a regional power of the Indo-Pacific, working to protect its sovereign interests and the security of its citizens, while actively contributing to international stability. In September, Germany also said that it aims to make an active contribution to shaping the international order in the Indo-Pacific. Its statement was said to be significant as Germany does not have territorial possessions in the area or blue water naval capabilities. In the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is reportedly considering plans to send the new £3.1 billion HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carriers over the South China Sea to show force and support for its international partners including the US. France has taken an active strategic posture in the South China Sea region. Under President Emmanuel Macron, France has expanded its defense and economic relations with Australia, Japan, India and Southeast Asia. France cinched pivotal deals with its allies including a £29 billion submarine deal with Australia and a £7.3 billion jet fighter deal with India. During a visit to an Australian naval facility, Mr. Macron said that them not naive. If they want to be seen and respected by China as an equal partner, they must organize themselves. Earlier this year, Mr. Macron visited China and told Beijing that its economic actions should not be one way. He said they should involve the interests of China's partner nations. France has also showcased its naval military force as part of broader efforts spearheaded by the US to preserve freedom of navigation in the disputed waters. Last year, China uninvited France from its 70th anniversary of the People's Liberation Army Navy ceremony. It came after French forces conducted freedom of navigation operations in the Taiwan Straits. Britain is reportedly considering its next move as the South China Sea disputes continue. Last month, the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier operated drills in preparation for deployments next year. Last weekend, the UK and US militaries took part in a joint exercise off the coast of Scotland. Footage from the event shows UK and US fighter jets taking off from the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier. It was called the last exercise before the carrier sets sail on deployment in early 2021. Scottish Conservative MP, Andrew Bowie, has asked the government to open its eyes to the glaringly obvious threats posed by China. Andrew Bowie called on Mr. Johnson to step up to the plate by deploying the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier to the Western Pacific. Mr. Bowie said the size of the Chinese fleet and its rate of growth should be a clear warning of China's determination to become a maritime superpower. With the renewed rejection in July by both America and Australia of China's territorial and maritime claims in the South China Sea, it is time that a truly global Britain steps up to the plate and meets this unwarranted and illegal encroachment with renewed assertiveness. China poses a threat to the UK as Beijing's navy now has access to a new strategic route to the North Atlantic, the head of the Royal Navy has warned. The Chinese Navy could approach the North Atlantic Sea via the Arctic through a route which has been opened up by global heating. Admiral Tony Radakin, the First Sea Lord, warned that an increasingly assertive China can reach waters north of Britain by using the Northern Sea route. Speaking from the Prince of Wales aircraft carrier in Portsmouth on Thursday, the Navy chief warned that climate change is becoming increasingly concerning. He said, "Climate change is a concern for all of us, but it is opening up new maritime trade routes across the top of the world, having the transit time between Europe and Asia. But when China sails its growing navy into the Atlantic, which way will it come, the long route or the short?" The Northern Sea Route was once icebound and runs the length of Russia. But due to climate change, the passage has opened up and is accessible to ships during August, September and October without the need for icebreakers, according to the Navy. The route is said to be at least 10 to 12 sailing days faster than the route through Singapore and the Suez Canal. Senior officials in the Navy feared that China could team up with Russia to use the route for trade and military activities. In 2018, Gavin Williamson, the then Defense Secretary, deployed the HMS Albion to sail close to islands in the disputed South China Sea. Beijing has claimed the region, which is almost 200 miles away from its mainland. China insisted that Britain's moves 2 years ago were provocative actions and demanded that the ships move. China has the world's most powerful navy, which includes 350 ships and submarines, according to a review by the Pentagon. Whereas the Britain's navy comes 28th on the list based on its number of ships. But the Royal Navy is one of the only navies to have a few aircraft carriers along with China and the US. The HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier is set to be deployed into the Indo-Pacific next year. It is not clear which route the ship will take, but there are rumors it will be sent to the South China Sea. The move, together with US and Australian warships, would affirm the right of freedom of navigation. Last month, the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier operated military drills in preparation for the deployments. Last weekend, the UK and US militaries took part in a joint exercise off the coast of Scotland. Footage from the event shows UK and US fighter jets taking off from the HMS Queen Elizabeth carrier. It was called the last exercise before the carrier sets sail on deployment in early 2021. Chris Perry, former Rear Admiral, told The Guardian, "The Northern Sea Route is a major component of China's Belt and Road Initiative in its quest to dominate trade in and around Eurasia. The risk is that China, in cooperation with Russia, will seek to exclude others from the route by restrictive practices." U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo once again hit out against Beijing, this time at the meeting of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, commonly referred to as the Quad, held in Tokyo on Tuesday. The U.S. has been pushing for the transformation of the dialogue involving Japan, India and Australia into a formal military alliance as part of its escalating war drive against China. In his public remarks, Pompeo hypocritically blamed China for the COVID-19 pandemic in a bid to deflect attention from the criminally negligent response of the Trump administration to the spread of the disease that has claimed the lives of more than 200,000 Americans. He declared that the Chinese Communist Party CCP had made the crisis infinitely worse as a result of its cover-up, and accused the authoritarian regime of locking up those who raised the alarm. Whatever the limitations of the Chinese government's response to what for it was a new disease with unknown characteristics, they pale in comparison with Trump's repeated dismissal of the dangers of the coronavirus and his administration's failure to institute the necessary measures to contain its spread. Chinese health authorities promptly informed the World Health Organization, which the White House has also sought to make a scapegoat, which relayed the warnings internationally, including to the U.S. These accusations against China are just part of the barrage of lies and unsubstantiated accusations that Pompeo repeats in international forums as he seeks to line up allies and strategic partners against Beijing. He told the gathering of foreign ministers Maurice Payne, Toshimitsu Motegi and Subramanyam Jaishankar from Australia, Japan and India respectively that collaboration was more critical than ever to protect against the CCP's exploitation, corruption, and coercion.